Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, May 21st, 2018. What's going on? How are you? How you doing? You doing good? Oh, that's good. Another gloomy, rainy, misty day out here in L.A. It's been like freezing, global warming. Yeah, that's the deal. It's just all, I don't know. It's like 9 o'clock out here. 9 o'clock. It feels like it's fucking 6 in the morning over there. This is one of these days. It's like, how am I going to get anything done? Second, it's all cloud. The sun, man. There's something in the sun makes you want to get up and do stuff, man. All of a sudden, it's a little bit overcast, and that your internal clock is like, hey, man, well, like maybe we should just like lay down and like do that tomorrow, man. How anybody gets anything done in Seattle is fucking beyond me. Or San Francisco, for that matter, even though I lucked out with all this great weather when I was up there. But Jesus Christ, you must just get used to it. If you're successful in like Seattle, you got to be able to be successful anywhere, right? I was speaking of that shit. I was watching this thing on the 90s, right? After my wife was watching, she was watching the royal wedding. I came back from San Francisco. By the way, thank you to everybody who came out. That was an incredible week. I had such a great time up there. And I ate and drank too much, so now I'm back on the food and the booze wagon. I'm on the elliptical, turning it all around. On the road, Billy Boozebag. At home, fucking Father O'Malley. Well, that's probably not a good thing to say, huh? Catholic priest. What am I trying to say here? So I come back, I'm all excited to see my wife and kid, and I come home, and she's watching that royal wedding, which was literally the whole fucking wedding. Oh, my God. I felt so bad for the fucking guy. Whoever it is, Harry. You can't just get married. It's got to be all of that. Everybody all dressed up in their crazy hats and shit. It looked like the fucking Kentucky Derby meets like medieval manor. The only thing was missing was Jim Carrey's character in that Cable Guy movie. Down, down, down. Blah, blah, going down. When they were at that fucking, that theme restaurant there. Whatever. I'm happy for both of them. They fell love and they're together. Jesus Christ. So she watched the whole goddamn thing. And so she's upstairs. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go unpack downstairs. We got a TV downstairs. So I go downstairs. And in the process was me unpacking. She came downstairs because she wanted to hang out with me. And she turned on the wedding down there. And I believe I yelled into a thick bathrobe. I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, it's running on TV. What did you say? I said it's great to be back with you and me. So I walked in there and I just was like, I know, I'll just slowly walk out of the room. And I got all the way out of the room and closed the door to within 2 inches. And she was like, where are you going? It's like, gonna go upstairs. She's like, well, I wanted to hang out with you. It's like, all right, well, I can't watch this. She goes, it's almost over. So I went upstairs and, I don't know. I get her watching that. That would be like, but the royal wedding would be like me trying to get her to watch, I don't know, some Hall of Fame induction ceremony after she's been away for 5 days, I had a hilarious thing happen to me up when I was in San Francisco, right? So I'm eating like an asshole. I went to this Vietnamese restaurant. I never eat Vietnamese food. I don't know why. I'm a creature of habit. I'll eat sushi and I'll eat Chinese food. And I'll eat Indian food. Oh, I'll dance all around that continent. But for some reason, like Vietnamese food, I'm like, I don't know about that. I I don't know. Thai food I had a long time ago, and I got food poisoning off it, so I can't eat it for like 10 years. And then also I always get the same fucking thing. Because the menu's just overwhelming because I don't know what anything is, and I don't want to make a mistake. So I always get the, what the fuck is it called? I don't know. Nia knows what it is. And she goes, "You're going to get this thing again?" And every time I get sushi, I get the exact same sushi. Spicy yellowtail hand roll or something else and a salmon avocado. Some edamame, right? You get the same thing every time. I know I do. I realize that. I got these things. They work for me. I'm afraid to venture into other parts of the menu. You got me, right? So I'd never had Vietnamese food. So I was like, the whole thing was like, what is it? Like, what are they going to... It's always the same shit. It's beef, chicken, and pork. And just how they dress it up. So I'm like, all right. So I went in there. I got this chicken sandwich. I saw these shredded carrots on top of it. I was like, oh, my God, that's going to be gross. And I ate it, and it was fucking delicious. So anyways, but, the chicken was kind of fried. I told you I ate bad. Oh, I ate bad. And so now I got the salt going through my veins. And up the street, there was an ice cream place. So this is how off the rails I was in my diet. I was like, I'm going to go up to the ice cream place. So I fucking walk in there. And it's one of these new agey ice cream, Artisan ice cream, whatever the fuck that means. All I know is when it says Artisan, if you're an old guy like me, you're not going to recognize any of the flavors. They had I was just looking for chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, the old school shit. They don't have any of that. They got like potato chips in it and shit. They got, one was like chocolate rose leaf or something. If anybody can tell me what the fuck that is. So I just looked at it. I was just like, what the fuck is this? Wasn't there an ice cream store around the corner? I'll go to that one. Maybe that's an old school one. And I walked into that one. Same shit. They had 6 flavors. I couldn't remember any of them today if you had a gun to my head. So I say to the lady, I just go, hey, do you got mint chocolate chip? She goes, no, it's not in season. I was like, what do you mean it's not in season? And she turns around. She's like, Megan, when's mint chocolate chip going to be in season? And the lady comes up. She's like, I think July. How fucking ridiculous. In season? It's like you're serving ice cream. This leads to diabetes. This is poison. Your body doesn't need this. There's a lot of studies out there right now that are saying sugar is a carcinogen. That's just what the fuck you're serving people. Whoa, but it's fresh. This is in-season cancer, right? So, you know what I did? I was like, fuck this. I just walk out. I just said, okay, thank you, and I walk out, right? And you know what I did? I just went to the same place that old people get their ice cream. I went to Walgreens. I went to a pharmacy, right? And all you got to do is find wherever the photomat developing place is, and you see about 8 old people there with like Insta fucking cameras, whatever the hell those things used to be. And right to the left of it or to the right of it will be ice cream. And I went there and I walked right in. I saw Haagen-Dazs mint chocolate chip. I bought a whole fucking pint. I didn't want it. I just wanted a small cup, so I bought the whole pint. And I was so fucking tempted to walk back to that ice cream store. I'd be like, hey, ladies, it's in season. But I didn't. And then I went back to the hotel room, and even though I was good after eating like a third of it, like I didn't have a freezer or anything, it was going to go bad. And my mother taught me not to waste, so I plowed through the whole thing, ate a pint of ice cream in like the middle of the day, and my body was just like, all right, dude, this is what we're doing, and I couldn't get out of bed for like the next fucking 3 hours. Sugar went through the fucking roof, my unnatural sugar, evidently. What season is sugar in? When is sugar in season is what I should ask. So there you go. All right. If you're old and you need ice cream, you want some ice cream, at this point, I would suggest going to the grocery store or going to a pharmacy, drugstore. They have the old school chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, mint chocolate chip, butter pecan, all those old ones. okay? And I don't want to be a fucking asshole old guy, so I respect the young people and their new crazy flavors, where they take other desserts and they stick it in there. Candy bars and brownies and shit. It's just like, it's fucking redundant. Although I will smoke a cigar and drink some smoky scotch. So I don't know what. Anyways, I guess that was my, what's the deal with ice cream sort of story. Speaking of ice, because I've become friends with Josh Adam Myers, the host of the goddamn Comedy Jam, he's a good friend of mine. He somehow has me rooting for the fucking Washington Capitals, every year in the playoffs, right? Obviously, if they're playing my Bruins, I don't. Okay? But, so he can, feel what it's like to win a championship. So I can put a little sparkle in his eye. And now he has me watching this fucking team every year. And I was sitting by myself yesterday. If you haven't been paying attention to the series, the Lightning lost the first two games. Capitals won the first two games. And my buddy was all excited. And I said, hey, I don't want to be the guy raining on your parade, but we beat them pretty easily in game one. And then they just shut us down and ran the fucking table. So I think I'd wait till I was at least up 3-0 before I got excited about beating the Lightning, right? So they won the first two games, the Capitals did. Then the Lightning won game 3. They won game 4. And yesterday I'm sitting down watching game 5, watching this adopted team that's going to break your heart every year. And I was by myself, and I literally said to the TV, after the Lightning scored yet another goal, I just say, hey, fucking Capitals every goddamn fucking year. And I was just like, what am I doing? There's supporting a friend, and then there's just, standing in line for an ass kicking for no goddamn reason. So, and how about those Vegas Knights? Jesus Christ. Making short work of the Winnipeg Jets. What do they got on that team? I know they got the Flower from Pittsburgh between the pipes. I guess he's playing fucking unbelievable. They got a bunch of old wily veterans coming together. I don't know. Every time I picture that team, it's like an over 35 league game, within the NHL. But good for them, man. It's going to be funny, the first year they don't make the finals. How their fans are going to react to that. They're going to be so goddamn spoiled. In the history of the 4 major sports, has this ever happened? Has an expansion team in their first year ever, I got to look this up, ever made it to like the equivalent of the Super Bowl World Series type of shit? Okay, has an expansion team ever made the finals? Okay, now they're going to say, well, the Vegas Knights did it yesterday. All right, Vegas become the first expansion team to reach a championship. Yep, there you go. Has an expansion team ever won a championship? Well, if no one's ever made the championship game, that would be a no. All right, here's the article. Expansion teams aren't supposed to be good, especially in their first year. The fact that these clubs have to draft players... What the fuck was that? I thought that was a bowl sliding off the counter. The fact that there was an earthquake just in my kitchen. The fact that these clubs have to draft players who often aren't important enough to their current teams to be protected, although that's not necessarily always the case, provides expansion teams with a significant disadvantage in their inaugural season. This year, however, the Golden Knights have dispelled that notion on their way to a Stanley Cup final appearance. Oh, this is the big thing every year. It's the Stanley Cup final, and it's the NBA Finals. And it's all how you look at it. If you look at all 7 games collectively as the final, or if you look at each game, this is an NBA final game. This is game 1 of the NBA. I don't know. I think the way the hockey does it makes a little more sense. How does Vegas stack up against the other expansion teams? All right, here we go. In the NHL, the Golden Knights are just the second team since 1950 to appear in the final in its inaugural season, joining the St. Louis Blues in 1968. Oh, that's bullshit, though. Before I even read the next sentence, because I remember, you know what they did in the NHL, okay? They went from 6 teams to 12 teams. And rather than putting 3 with the 3 original in one conference and 3 with the 3 original in the others, they had the entire expansion 6 in their own conference. So from day one of them was going to make it there and then get fucking swept by one of the original 6, right? What does it say? However, the Blues were one of 6 expansion teams that year, and all 6 of them were placed in the same division. The winner, which advanced to the final. There you go. In MLS, the Chicago Fire shocked the world in 1998 by winning the MLS Cup and U.S. Open Cup in their first season. I would say they shocked the fucking United States soccer world. I wouldn't say they shocked the world. But the rest of the world does watch soccer, or as they call it, football, but I don't think they respect our bullshit, right? Probably made us look worse, right? But in Major League Baseball, no expansion club has finished with more than 70 wins in its first season. In the NBA, this 1916 Chicago Bulls are the most successful expansion team, Jesus Christ, but only won 33 games. And in the NFL, the 1995 Carolina Panthers, who finished just 7-9, topped the list. Well, there you go. There you go, man. After a disappointing career at Tampa, Brett Conley redeems himself as a Capital. Is that next Capital game tonight? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, it's 3-2, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, and the Boston Celtics. Jesus Christ, the series is so fucking long. They played the first 2 games, and there was like a 9-day layoff, which I think helped old Cleveland, I would say. A bunch of my buddies were all excited, like, dude, I think the Celtics are going to win in fucking 5. Dude, they're going to sweep them. And I'm just like, I don't know. I was just like, they need to win game 3. Because if they lose game 3, then it's 2-1, and then all of a sudden, Cleveland can tie it up. And that's the fascinating thing about a 7-game series. Like, if you're up 3-1, you're like, dude, we're in the driver's seat. The second you lose game 5, the rest of the series, 6 and 7, the pressure's on you. Can they close them out? Can they fucking close them out? So I was joking with a buddy of mine who was a Cavalier fan. He said, before game 3, saying, you guys look great. And I said, I won't be comfortable till we get that 4th win against you guys. And once again, you saw what made LeBron fucking so great. Because he did in that game what a lot of people with half his skill won't do, which is pass the fucking ball. And he got all his fucking teammates involved. And anybody can draw that up on paper, but this guy actually goes out and does it. And, so now we got the great Brad Stevens. He's got to figure out a way to come up with some sort of defense if that's what LeBron is going to do. But this series is far from over either way. And I'm going to die another 1,000 deaths tonight watching the goddamn game. Drives me fucking nuts, man. It drives me nuts. Sometimes you ever get like jealous of somebody, like as much as like the Cleveland sports fans, like the Cleveland Browns fans, like bitch, moan, and complain about never winning a Super Bowl or anything like that. It's just like, there's no surprise that you're not aging watching them suck. You're just like, yeah, they fucking suck, blah, blah, blah. It's over. It's hopeless. But if you have a team that makes the playoffs, they give you hope. And you fucking every time they get there, you fucking believe it. And you get all excited. As much as the Celtics, people would say, have tremendously overachieved, if they lose this series, it's going to be devastating. And I always as I've gotten older, I always just think to myself, why do I give a shit? Why do I give a shit? Like the stuff I have to do when the game is on, like where I have to go mentally so I can just handle sitting there. Like I don't get how people can just fucking sit there and watch it. I have to go into the other room, I got to start paying bills and stuff while I'm watching the game. I have to have another activity so I'm just not sitting there watching the fucking game, losing my mind. But anyways, as much as that, we got our asses whipped in Game 3. You can't get mad at greatness. And that's what I think you saw with LeBron. So, who knows? Celtics, obviously, if they went tonight, we'd be up 3-1. That would be a hell of a hole for Cleveland Cavaliers to try to dig out of. We shall see what happens. And I'm going to watch my surrogate fucking Capitals tonight. We'll see what happens. Well, no, wait. I'm going to watch the Celtics, and I'll be flipping back and forth. The fucking Lightning, man. They just give you the old right there, Fred. What did they score, 17 seconds into that game? There you go. Bam. They fucking knock a goalie right out of the game before you even get your goddamn first beer. They got a bunch of snipers. All right, let me read a little bit of advertisement for this week. Anyways, but this is my last big push here as I slide into my fucking 50th birthday here, where I got myself in great shape, but I think I peaked too early. Then I had that bad week in San Francisco, so now I got to have a perfect week just to get even with what the fuck I did last week. And but I think I'll be all right. Come in right around 170. I'll look all right. At least when I cry, when my 40s are over and I look down at my stomach, it won't be as big. And that'll be uplifting. Does that make sense? I don't fucking know. All right, ZipRecruiter. Are you hiring? Well, are you? Posting your position to job sites and waiting for the right people to see it? Whew. What do you do while you're waiting? ZipRecruiter knew there was a smarter way, so they built a platform that finds the right job candidates just for you. Old Zip learns what you're looking for, identifies people with the right experience, and invites them to apply to your job. These invitations have revolutionized how you find your next hire. In fact, 80% of employees who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. And ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. They even spotlight the strongest applications you receive so you never miss a great match. What if somebody's lying on their resume? Sorry, I just didn't want to bring up the fly in the ointment. The right candidates are out there. Oh, Zip is how you find them. Businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. Right now, my listeners can try Zip for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. One more time. Hey, Zip. Recruiter, man. The smartest way to hire. All right. So, anyways, Freckles. Laying off the fucking booze. Do for Freckles. I'm actually seriously considering getting rid of my bar. Can you put half drank? What the fuck is that? What's this music? It sounds like the beginning of a movie ripping off what's that Eddie Murphy movie? Axel Foley. What do you think was playing other than the original porn? It's actually a highlight for the Vegas Knights. Vegas will play the winner of the Capital Series. That's on Sports Illustrated. If you'd like to have that as a ringtone. Let's see what this one sounds like. Oh, this is the old guy chasing the woman to the train. I saw this woman. She was beautiful. I had to talk to her. You could do that in fucking real life. See some woman on a platform and then start running towards her train. How do you not come off as a creep? You can't even be walking briskly. I would think that alone would freak a woman out. What the fuck is this guy doing? You don't ever want a stranger walking briskly towards you. Anyways, that's just my opinion. It's just my opinion, people. That's all this fucking podcast is. It's just my opinion over and over and over again for 60 goddamn minutes. And you just got to sit there and take it. Or you shut it off. That's always an option. You could do that. Instead of sitting there playing the victim, and writing a blog about it. I was so mentally abused by the Monday morning podcast, I couldn't reach up and hit stop. All right, so I've been downloading a bunch of fucking like late 70s and early 80s. Let's talk music here. I was watching something. What's his face there? The lead singer he was in Black Flag. Whoops, Jesus Christ. I didn't mean to say that. Black Flag. The fuck is his name there? He had a band. He had a band named after him. Jesus Christ. Dude, my brain is so fucking fried. I keep thinking Ronson, like Mark Ronson. I know it's not that, but the fuck is this goddamn... All right, now I gotta look this shit up. And don't fucking laugh at me, because I know I'm not the only one who does this shit. Black Flag, lead singer. Oh, this is why I can never be on Jeopardy, because even when I know the fucking answers, even when I know the goddamn answers. Henry Rollins, Jesus fucking Christ. So I saw this thing, Henry Rollins, right? And he was recommending these albums. Some of them I had, some of them I didn't. And so he recommended this band, Joy Division. And it's like, all right, I've heard of this band for fucking ever. I never took the time to get into them or any of that shit. If this guy's saying this is the real shit, he was saying their original album is as good as anything the Rolling Stones ever did and blah, 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 blah. So I went right to iTunes and promptly downloaded their second album by accident. I got to tell you, I love it. So I'm gonna go back. I kind of feel fucked up because I should have done it chronologically and seen the growth, even though they weren't around that long. Because unfortunately, the lead singer committed suicide. Barely 24 years old, but Jesus Christ, there's some fucking unbelievable bands that came out of Manchester in the late 70s and early 80s that was so goddamn different from everything else that was going on. Considering that first album that I haven't listened to yet, if it sounds anything like the second album, which came out in 79, to listen to that music and know that like popular music was like, at the time was like, I love the nightlife, I got to boogie on the disco ride. Oh yeah, right? I want to put on my boogie shoes. Burn it. Hey fucking lady, let's go create some herpes. Burn it. Burn it. That's what all those songs were. We're gonna stop fucking until you can die from this shit. Burn it. Burn it. Come on now. Cocaine's not addictive. Burn it. All right, sorry. Anyways, but you know what's funny? I like disco music too. I like the shit because I was too young to know that evidently everybody fucking hated it. And when I hear that shit, I just, oh, you can't tell by the way I fucking walk. I'm a little bad, no time to talk. I just picture myself riding my bicycle up to the store to buy some football cards or baseball cards. I didn't know any better. I didn't realize that was the music of the man. I had no idea. YMCA. I thought all of that shit was like, I thought that was legit. No idea. Anyways, check out Joy Division. Download their first album, like Henry Rollins said. Don't fucking accidentally download the second one. And then defend disco, like I just did on my podcast. Okay? You don't have to. So I was listening to that, and then I was listening to... that led me to... Remember Romeo Void? Never Say Never? I never knew what the woman looked like or anybody in the band. One of the coolest looking bands you're ever going to see. And then once again, way ahead of their fucking time. The video for Never Say Never is cool. It's like a fucking movie. And I know I used to watch MTV all the time. I barely remember them ever playing this. But I would say Romeo Void and Joy Division, both of them, me listening to them, really sitting down, listening to that shit for the first time in 2018, and the music still holds up. It doesn't feel like, what is some of the popular shit? I'll fight the world and melt with you. That's not a bad song either, right? Something, you can't objectively look at any music that was out when you were growing up. You know what I mean? Because there was like, oh man, I remember when this song came on. That's the first time I got hung on a doorknob by my underwear by the upperclassmen. You got all these great childhood fucking memories. I remember that. That's that time that fucking teacher locked me in the closet because he had to go do something. He didn't have time to like fucking, watch me during detention. Oh, I remember that. I remember that day. That was a day that fucking... I don't want to get into all that shit. Anyways... Check them out if you get a chance. I guess that was the point of all that. The point of all that was to check those people out if you have time. If you don't, I understand. Just keep listening to the shit you listen to. I kind of noticed that when I went to that Giants baseball game last week. Like there was a couple of guys that came to the plate and they would just listen to this. Remember that new metal and some of that horrific shit that came out in the early 2000s? When they tried to combine rap and metal? And then everybody would be up there playing instruments, and then there'd be that one white kid running around. You're like, oh, God, is he going to start rapping? Please, God, don't let him start rapping. That is the one amazing thing about that style of music. That was the one style of music that white people, as much as they tried, just could not steal it. I'm not saying that Eminem and some guys like that haven't been tremendous, but, that is one, it was just, I don't know what it was. White people did their best. And then there was that whole, and the music was so good that white kids got into it, and then they did, hey, man, we ought to put that in our band. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, yo! It just didn't work. It just didn't work. There was a lot of stuff from that time that just fucking didn't work. I remember slam poetry. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, that was just like... I just remember the person who would ever be doing it would always have their eyebrows up and be like pointing at you like what they were saying was just fucking unbelievable, like just unbelievable, and it was like blowing your mind. And I would just be sitting there going like, it's kind of a very mainstream point of view that has been said about people in power for a long time. I guess I've never heard it rhymed before, so that makes it new. I don't know. But I couldn't look at it objectively because that was yet another time stand-up comedians were going like, oh my God, this is going to take over stand-up comedy. We're all going to be fucking homeless, right? I told you guys about that time when, in Massachusetts anyways. Do you remember karaoke? They still have karaoke, right? Which I know a lot of bands were nervous that was going to end people going to see live music, because some plumber was going to be standing on stage going, just a small town girl living in a lonely world. Like people at that point were going to be like, I don't think I need to see this generation's Freddie Mercury because I can watch the guy who just plumbed my fucking toilet sing Journey. Think I'm all set on professional musicians at this point. Thank you, karaoke, but you know how it is. You live in fear. It's what it is. People live in fear. So anyways, there was something that came out. It was called karaoke. And basically people in the restaurant or whatever would go on stage and there'd be a teleprompter and they would just read a joke. Like, two guys walk into a bar and the bartender says, dabba-dabba-dee, blah, 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 blah. Hey, I didn't know that. I would have fucking done it an hour ago. And they couldn't teach timing, right? But we were all convinced, like, dude, karaoke, it's going to do to stand-up comedy what karaoke did to live music, which was absolutely nothing unless you were in an incredibly shitty band. So one time we were, I know I've told this story before. This is for the new listeners, all right? So one time I was doing this gig somewhere in New Hampshire. It was upstairs at a bar. It's a 2-story bar, okay? People take drinking seriously in New England. 2-story fucking bar. And there was plenty of room to add on to the bar. It wasn't like, it was this densely populated area. I don't know, this guy was just building up for whatever reason. So we're on the 2nd story of this fucking building, and across the street is this little carnival. And all I remember was, that Viking ship ride? It just basically, it's like a giant swing going back and forth, but you're on that giant boat. So that is basically right outside the windows on the 2nd floor of this bar. And there was screen windows, too, because it was the summer, and I guess this place must not have had air conditioning. And all I remember was standing on stage, bombing, and all I could hear was the people screaming on the ride. So my set, it turned into like my own little horror film. And what was funny was the boat was not like parallel to the bar. It was like pointed at it, and it looked like it was going to come right through the fucking window, and then it would go up. I remember the guy I was looking at was saying, it's very phallic looking, right? And I was dying laughing because when the underneath of the boat was coming up and going back, it looked like, that ridiculous shot in porno where just in case you think he's really not putting it in there, they make good and goddamn well that that's what's happening. I always wonder if, like, the porn stars can feel the heat of the lens on, like, their ball bags and fucking hoo-has. Maybe that's why they shaved their pubes, because they got sick of them lighting on fire during takes. I don't know. I've never really seen a behind this. Actually, I did see a behind the scenes of a porno recently, of a former porn star, of this guy getting into the world and then wanting to get out of it and staying in it for 20 fucking years. And I watched the whole thing right up until when he decided to get out of it. And then the next one was him at Bible study. And then I shut it off. I was just like, all right, I don't want to watch this part. Reminding me that I'm a piece of shit and I should probably, look at Bible studying or something. I don't know what the fuck it is. There's just something that always wigs me out about that. You know what I mean? Because even you can sit there like, hey, man, like that stuff doesn't exist, man. You also think, hey, well, what does exist? These are the ramblings of a guy turning 50 going like, do I need to hedge my bets and start going back to church? But wouldn't a higher power know, like, this guy's not totally buying into this shit? What is he doing right now? Is he practicing some sort of sticking pattern on the church pews for when he plays drums later on today? That's not very respectful. All right, let's do some reads here for this week. Grass-fed versus grass-finished. Dear Billy, beef breath. Recently on your podcast, you did an ad for your new sponsor, Butcher Box. By the way, I tried that pork that swine that they sent me, and it was I didn't realize, like, the original pigs that came over here. Before, I guess they were all mixed with these other pigs. It's very like white supremacy, the way they have like the pigs and dogs, like purebred and all that. Well, these purebred pigs, like you gotta prove to their DNA that these are actually, I don't know what, pigs from fucking Liverpool. I have no idea. All I can tell is that, I bought into the hype, so I don't know if that affected my taste buds, but it was one of the best pork chops I've ever had in my life. So hats off to Butcher Box. Anyways, he said you didn't know what the term grass-finished beef means. It means they are giving you the real thing. A lot of restaurants these days tell you they serve grass-fed beef, and they usually charge more for it. The term used to mean exactly what it sounds like, but it's all gotten watered down, and now it's often just a marketing gimmick. Pretty much all cattle are grass-fed. They are fed grass pellets, hay, or if they are lucky, they get to spend their lives happily grazing in a pasture. But then almost all of them get fed grain or other garbage to fatten them up at the feedlot before slaughter. Grass finished, however, means they eat grass right up until the very end. I learned this little bit of trivia when I was working as a travel writer in Hawaii. I wanted to pass it along because I figure I owe you. That's pretty cool. I started listening to your podcast and Joe Rogan's podcast because I frequently had long drives by myself to get to remote areas of the various islands, and a person can only listen to so much Hawaiian music. That's hilarious. Thanks for keeping me company long drives. No problem. In case you've never been to Hawaii before and are questioning my comment about long drives, the Big Island is about the size of the state of Connecticut. I didn't know that. And since there are no direct routes, it takes more than 2 hours to get from the Kona side of the Big Island to the Hilo side, where the volcano is currently erupting. You know, the bright side of that volcano erupting isn't it creating more land? You know? Well, thinning out the population, evidently. Here's a link about the term grass-fed so you can verify for yourself. But it's a long article, so probably not something you want to read on the podcast. Dude, if it's a short article, it's not something I want to read on the podcast. God knows I'll fuck that up. How scary is it to not only live next to a fucking volcano, but to be like on a goddamn island? I mean, the only thing that I've seen that has been not like a little more relaxing is how slow the lava's been moving. After it sort of erupts, so you just don't want to be near it where, spitting up like a fucking toddler, right? Let me see. Let me read up on this shit. Hawaii volcano. What is the latest? Hawaii volcano warning of toxic gas plumes. Lava spews lays of toxic gas and glass into the air. It's spewing glass. Did people throw their fucking soda pop bottles down there? Or is that some chemically way that all of those minerals with that level of heat turns into glass? Lava, acid rain, VOG, sulfur dioxide, and now lays. New deadly threat emerges. Good fucking Lord. Can you imagine if you're there right now on your honeymoon? You can't tell me that's not an omen. Did I marry the right person? God, give me a sign. Now, that could mean, that could actually mean a good thing, right? But the eruption, it's going to fuck your brains out. I don't pretend to know. Okay, first it was lava, then acid rain, and VOG. What the fuck is VOG? Am I so far behind the story people know what VOG is? VOG. VOG is a form of air pollution that results when sulfur dioxide and other gases and particles emitted by an erupting volcano react with oxygen and moisture in the presence of sunlight. The word is a portmanteau of the word volcanic, smog, and fog. You mean the smoke that comes out of a volcano? They call that VOG? The term is common in the Hawaiian Islands. All right. Fog is created when volcanic gases react with sunlight, oxygen, and moisture. The result includes sulfuric acid and other sulfur. Jesus fucking Christ. Those poor people, man. Living in that goddamn paradise, just sitting there, So like school gets canceled out there. There will be no school today due to the VOG. We got to go an extra 2 weeks in June because we missed those 2 weeks, 3 months earlier when the volcano was erupting. These fucking Hawaiian people are tough, huh? Oh, there we got a little snowstorm. It's going to be slippery. You could slip and fall and break your tailbone. And then on the other side, they're sitting there going, oh, really? Now, we could burn to death. Be vaporized, right? We go outside and breathe in poison. So what the fuck, what is everybody doing out? Like, how poisonous is it? Jesus Christ, can you imagine that shit? Like, you still decide to go ahead with your vacation, and as you're coming in for a landing, you're seeing all that fog. Honey, it's okay. Stop crying. We're on the other side of the island. Okay? It's just lava. Okay? It's just lava and a little bit of poison gas, and it's currently still happening. Other than that, I mean, it's going to be fine. You're going to be sitting on the beach with a lei around your neck and a gas mask on your face, taking a big gulp of oxygen before you lift the mask and take a sip off your straw, drinking out of a coconut, just like we planned. Come on, this is our time. Come on, we're going to start a family. The whole thing is ruined. First, I couldn't find my shoes, and now a volcano's erupting. I just want to go home. All right. Hey, stay strong, Hawaii. I don't know what else you do. I always thought, well, you know, if you're near the ocean, the lava comes, you just stand in the ocean. Then the sharks come and get you, right? I mean, there's just no way to fucking do it. I don't mean literally stand in the ocean. I mean, like, I mean, like, fucking, you know, stand along the beach, frolic in the waves. As you watch your retirement fund in your house burn up in flames. Did anybody else see that footage of that lava just kind of going across the street right towards that white car? Didn't it bug you that nobody said, you can't get the fucking car out of there? Jesus Christ. I'll tell you right now, if you ever steal a car and you want to get rid of it, that's it. Steal a car while a volcano is erupting. Have your little joyride, right? The cops chase you, you just drive it into some lava, and then you fucking jump out. Stole what, man? I don't see any car. And then you know what would happen was they would have the dashboard cam, and then they'd get you for fucking, I don't know, destroying evidence or I don't know what the fuck. Who knows? I don't pretend to understand things. All right, improve your French. Dear Billy Bilingual, I'm a 24-year-old American man who completed a year abroad in Paris. I knew no French before going, and I'm now fluent. Yeah, well, that's the way to do it. You're over there. I know you've been using Rosetta Stone, and that's really helpful, but here's a tip on how you can become conversationally fluent. Oh, great. The best thing to do is listen to audiobook and read this text simultaneously in French. I know you hate reading, but if you get a good narrator, it can be entertaining and will make you literate. Oh, yeah, I've been reading French books, like kids' books, to my daughter. I read Harry Potter and L'École des Sorciers, whatever, and I was able to chat up French women afterwards. Hope this helps, and go fuck yourself. Well, wait a minute. If someone's just speaking French and nobody's translating it for me, I'm just listening to French. How does it work? Audiobook and read the text simultaneously. Let me see something. French audiobook with avec text. Let's see what I got here. French parallel audio. Oh, look at that. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'll give it a shot. Thank you very much. Oh, Jesus. Look at this one. Oh, Jesus. Police caught me with a prostitute. What's up, Bill? A big fan of yours. I enjoy your stand-ups. Okay, I'm going to say this is a first draft. Your Netflix originals, especially F is for Family. Thank you. And your interviews on YouTube, mostly the ones on Conan. I'm 28 years old, single, no kids, live alone, kind of a loner. I smoke weed. I work midnight at a gas station. All right, right, let's do this again. I'm 28 years old, single, no kids. I live alone, kind of a loner. I smoke weed. I work midnight at a gas station. I never go out. I don't drink. I don't do any kind of clubs or hardcore drugs. I just get horny. I usually have girls, but not this time. I fucked it up with every girl I was talking to. Somehow I managed to be rude by asking them if they enjoyed giving head. Oh, boy. I got to say, man, I got caught up in some bullshit. Tomorrow I have a trial, and I'm a little nervous. I have to get a court-appointed attorney. I don't trust anyone, though. The lawyer I was supposed to have wouldn't stop asking me for money when I told her I have it in 3 days. I don't lie. I'm honest as fuck. All right. I always get nervous when people say I don't lie. Anybody knows me knows I tell the truth. I didn't do that. All right. So basically what happened, I got pulled over by the cops telling me straight up they saw me talking with a known prostitute. For sure, it was a sting operation, even though she showed me her tits. She was cute. Too cute, if you ask me. A little too cute. So she got in my car and asked me what I wanted. I told her, but she wanted more money, so I said no thanks. She got out, and I decided to go home. I pull out into the street, and literally not even 30 seconds later, I see lights come on behind me. Luckily, I didn't go to jail. They gave me a ticket and impounded my car, though. All right, so what's the problem? I've been bullshitting my mom. I told her the car's in the shop. I thought you said you don't lie and that you're honest as fuck. Anyways, I had to spend $2,000 to get it back, but it was in my mom's name, so I had to come up with another lie. I thought you said you didn't lie. You're honest as fuck. And I was trying to sell the car, even though that makes no fucking sense. What? So I needed paperwork stating she was my mother, giving me permission to retrieve my car from the county clerk's office and have it notarized by the bank. I know, Bill, I don't lie. If I told my mom she'd probably die. All right. So we kind of covered his tracks there. No joke. I'm the youngest of 5, all fuck-ups, all boys. I'm supposed to be the good one, and I am. I was just being stupid. I think the only thing that's worrying me is the fine. Probably like $5,000 to $10,000. Oh, well. Thanks for the time to read this. By the way, I'm going to say where you live. I have tickets to your show. Can't wait. Anyways, thanks, and go fuck yourself. All right, well, she's probably going to find out. I would just tell her. I'd just tell her. Just say, listen, I fucked up. I fucked up. She's your mother. She'll forgive you, right? I don't know. I think I would be more worried about the $5,000 to $10,000 fine than your mom not loving you anymore. All right? You fucked up. You made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes. You made a mistake. It's what the fucking life is. You make mistakes. You learn from your mistakes. You move on. You try to do better. All right? That's it. I've said it for a long time. If people were cars, we'd be recalled. There's a reason the world is so fucked up. It's because humans are running it. Okay? We're just smart enough to be fucking morons. All right, good luck to you. My friend's dad wants to pay me to get naked. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Or the last one, girlfriend and best friends graduating same time, different places. Thank you. A nice sitcom trope I can finish with here. I got 2 dates in one night. All right, let's get through this one. My friend's dad wants to pay me to get naked. Oh, Jesus. Hey, Mr. William Frederick Burr. Hope you're doing good. Big fan of the podcast and all your other shit. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm a 24-year-old guy from the UK. Okay, the UK. Until recently, I've been working behind the bar in the local pub where my friend's dad would drink regularly. I met him a handful of times over the past 10 years or so as his son is one of my best friends. He's about 70 years old and a very devout Catholic. That's not a good characteristic. Who has also worked at the church in some other capacity or another. I shouldn't blame the whole religion. Okay. Because maybe he's a good guy. All right. I've always got a weird vibe from him. Oh, boy. And he started to seem even weirder. Oh, Jesus. After seeing him multiple times in a week. He was giving me big tips, which is rare in the UK, and he would cup my hand with both hands for 10 seconds or so when he gave the money to me. He'd stare into my eyes saying all this weird complimentary stuff about me like, "You're a very good ball man. And you'll go far." Sorry with the bad accent. So I started to feel something was off about this guy. Oh, God. This is like when Quint slid into the mouth of the shark. One day, after a few months of generous tips from him and general weird encounters, he had about 5 large glasses of red wine and got pretty drunk. As I was walking around the pub collecting glasses, he called me over to him and pulled me to one side in a dark, dimly lit corner. He hushed his voice, and got really close to me with his putrid breath wafting into my nose and said something along the lines of, "Right, I have a proposition for you. First off, I just want to make it clear that I'm not gay." Oh, Jesus. I'm not gay at all, right? Well, I want to do, but what I do have is an appreciation for the male form. I can't keep doing this accent. What I do have is an appreciation for the male form. I used to have a boy who I would pay 150 pounds, which is 200 or euros. That's 203 American. Really? To allow me to look at his naked body a few times per week. I wouldn't touch him or force him to do anything. He would simply get undressed, and I would appreciate his body and pay him for his time. Does this sound like something you would be interested in? Oh, my God. I immediately said no and was pretty shocked, but I didn't make a scene. I just laughed it off and said, "Sorry, I'm not interested." The next day, he came into the pub and practically begged me not to tell his son, and started to give me even bigger tips in the following weeks. I tried to refuse, but he insisted. It was basically hush money. It was like I was wrapped up in some sort of big scandal and being paid for my silence. There was one time where he ran into the pub looking really flustered during a storm. What little hair he has left was all over the place and was stuck to his red, wet, veiny face. Jesus Christ. His clothes were drenched. He was really out of breath, and he ran up to me and said, "You haven't told him, have you?" That's fucking nuts, because the person was probably acting weird or slightly different. "I haven't told him, no," I said. He was clearly really worried about what he'd said, so I couldn't help but feel a little sorry for him, as he's clearly gay and most likely suppressed it his entire life due to him being a devout Catholic. That's what I was thinking. I feel bad for that. I feel, obviously, that you had to fucking have that fucking interaction. But, I mean, yeah, that's what this is. This is why you should just let people be who the fuck they are. My gut instinct is to just never mention it to anyone, but a second opinion would be great. Yeah, dude, I wouldn't say anything. He's 70 fucking years old. All right? To his credit, he asked. You said no, and then that was it. And now he's just saying, please don't tell anybody. Anyway, so essentially, I know that one of my best friend's dad is trying to cheat on his mom with young men. So part of me feels like his wife has the right to know. But on the other hand, I don't want to ruin their family. So my question to you is, should I bring it up with my friend? What should I do? Thanks, and go fuck yourself. But instead, just have a nice... Thanks, and don't go fuck yourself. But instead, just have a nice day for me, will you? All right. Sending love to yourself, Nia, and the little baby. Thank you. Looking forward to the new episode's family. Thank you. No, the guy's fucking 70 years old. I mean, what are you going to do at that point? I don't know. Is the guy bisexual? I have no fucking idea. All I know is he asked, you said no, and he's left you alone other than panicking that you're going to fucking tell somebody. So, I feel like that's his, if he wants to tell people, that's his thing. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know. I would think that his wife on some level might even fucking know. Who the fuck knows? Relationships are very complex. To just fucking jump in there and think that you're going to be playing the hero when you don't have any of the information, I would just walk away from it. Just walk away. That's what I would do, personally, Jesus Christ, what a story. I feel like I was watching a movie. All right, girlfriend and best friend graduating same time, different places. Dear Billy, bombshell. My best friend and new girlfriend are graduating college on the same day, and I don't know whose ceremony to attend. I just finished my junior year of college and recently started dating a girl 1 year older who is graduating in less than a week. However, my best friend since I was 5, also graduating college on the same day at the same time, but at a different school. Needless to say, I cannot be at both places at once. I'm not really sure whose ceremony I should attend. I don't want to piss off my new girlfriend, especially because she's way too hot for me. Well, if she's way too hot for you, that's a good thing to try to keep yourself level. Is don't fucking jump every time she asks you to. I don't know. I would go to my buddy's graduation. Just say, unfortunately, they just came at the same time. You know what's funny is a woman would be like, and you're going to choose him over me? And I would never do that. If I was dating a girl for a year and she's like, listen, your graduation is the same day as my best friend since I was 5, before she even got through it, I'd be, listen, I get it. No fucking problem. Hey, here's a little secret. I don't want to go to the graduation ceremony myself. I just got to get the piece of goddamn paper. That's the only reason why I'm showing up. Don't worry, I'll take a video. All right? Gives a fuck. It's a ceremony. He says, anyway, really unsure I can justify picking a new girlfriend over my best friend, but at the same time, he doesn't give me sex, so there's that aspect. Let me know what I think you should do. I don't think you should operate from a place of fear. I think you should go with loyalty, and you should go to your friend's thing. That's what I would do. If she can't understand it, what are you going to do? Plenty of fish in the sea. All right, false rape allegations ruining my friend's life. Jesus fucking Christ. I hate reading these things because I don't have any of the information. Now you're going to tell me it's a false rape thing, so now I don't know if I'm going to be supporting a victim or if I'm going to be fucking supporting somebody who really did something. Here's the situation. I'm currently in my senior year at college. My graduate. I'm not reading this fucking thing. I'm not reading this fucking thing. All right. Look at this psycho bitch got mad and blah, blah. Now this is all this is what's wrong with the internet right now, is because now I'm going to listen to one side of the fucking story. The woman who you call a psycho bitch is not going to get a chance to tell her side of the story. And I'm going to make a snap judgment and say, yeah, this is a psycho bitch. I just, these are the questions used to be a lot lighter, people. This is some heavy fucking shit. My best friend's dad is 70 and I found out he's gay. Should I tell them or should I keep the secret? At what point did I become qualified to answer this shit? I don't fucking know. Anyways, that's the podcast. Go Celtics, go Capitals, and go fuck yourselves. I'll talk to you on Thursday. I'll check in on you.